Mr. Huntelaar, I need you to open your mind hole right now. I'm going to paint you a word picture, and you're going to tell me if you're terrified or not so terrified. All right, are you ready? Okay, imagine this. A plane takes off in the US. Missouri. What do Missouri people sound like? Hillbillies.
Cam from Modern Family.
Is he from Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So Texas.
7 Cams take off from Missouri. Okay, in the middle of the night, they fly halfway across the world, drop bombs on 3 of your nuclear facilities without you ever knowing they were even there, and return home. Does that terrify you a little bit?
Okay, so I think there's a range of emotions we need to explore.
Okay.
First of all, I am terrified because I was not expecting this, and all of a sudden there's loud bangs. I drop a fork at home,
and you crapping yourself,
or like a metal plate falls, and I'm already like terrified. Okay, now an actual bomb falls. Okay,
and you weren't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it. So first, just terror, fear. I'm scared. I think the second emotion is probably gonna just be anger, because like what
did I do?
Why?
What did I do? Okay, but anyway,
but we won't get into that.
We won't get into that. On that, this is exactly what happened a few weeks ago when Operation Midnight Hammer. I wonder who named that. Do you think it was Trump? Must have been Trump.
Yeah.
One of them. Okay, Operation Midnight Hammer. Basically, they went, dropped bombs on Iran, middle of the night. They spent about 20 minutes in Iranian airspace. That's all they needed. Destroyed 3 nuclear facilities and got out of there. Went home, back to their kids, carried on like it was a normal day. And at the heart of this was the B-2 Spirit. Now, if you don't know about the B-2, it's been in quite a few movies. Stuff like that big-ass black plane that just looks like a wing.
Yeah, it looks futuristic.
It looks really futuristic.
But it's not the future. It's right now.
Right? It's right now. And it was actually born in the Cold War. So this is like 40, 50-year-old technology. Still owning the world in military operations. And that is what we're going to be discussing this week. The B-2 Spirit, born out of the Cold War, even today, destroying Iranian infrastructure. And let's not forget, the whole world is up for grabs in the US. The US is the only military that has these planes. So let's not forget that. And is that not terrifying?
Yeah, it's
just
terrifying.
A little bit.
I mean, like, let's face it, they're the only nation that actually dropped an atomic bomb.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. But anyway, we're not going to get onto the doomy and gloomy stuff. We're just going to be talking the engineering of the B-2 Spirit bomber. We're going to be talking what it is, some interesting facts about it, and then we're all going to go home happy and a little bit sober, knowing that the US could screw us over at any point. Yeah.
But, okay, well, yeah. Anyway, I have opinions, but I'm here for the cool engineering,
As
not
we
for
go,
the political
I like
discussions.
to start out with some interesting facts about the B-2. Mr. Huntelaar. Okay, are you ready for this? So each B-2 costs about $2.1 billion US to build. Now, to give you guys some context, because I know you've already read the notes, so none of this is going to surprise you. For anyone who is into planes and the military and stuff, an F-22 Raptor, which is a very advanced fighter jet, costs about $143 million US. So not even close to the 2.1. But you could probably buy more of them.
It's not even in an order of magnitude.
No.
You could buy like 10.
Literally. And still be under budget. Right? So pretty magical. The biggest shipping containers. Now these things ship megatons of material all over the world for all types of people. That'll only set you back about $200 million. So we're getting up there, man. At $2.1 billion for a plane that maybe you'll use every once in a while. It's a bit much, okay? Here's a better one to bring it back to South Africa. So the We Buy Cars business franchise in South Africa, if you wanted to buy that out, that would cost you about 25 billion rand. Okay, so you could go and buy We Buy Cars, 25 billion rand. Then on top of that, you could go and buy just over 7 tons of pure gold. So find a little space, store 7 tons of pure gold, and then you would still have some cash left over for a really nice holiday. I'm talking like a few million left over here for the same price as one B-2 bomber. Does that not sober you up a bit?
That's wild, man.
Hey? Right? Wild. And the US has 20 of them in their fleet. 20. So anyway, interesting. It costs about $135,000 an hour to run these planes. Now that's crazy. Now, I didn't put this down here, but the average long-haul truck driver in the US, working for like a Walmart or Costco, things like that, they earn between $90,000 and $110,000 a year. and this costs $135,000 an hour to operate.
That's a big investment.
It's a lot, right? But I mean, this is military. It's a different ball game altogether. Okay, we get into some capabilities on the B2. Really, really cool. The B2 can fly 6,000 nautical miles, which is about 11,000 nautical kilometers. Would it be the same? I didn't use a nautical kilometer conversion, so take that with a pinch of salt. And then without refueling, that's what it can do, 6,000 nautical miles. And over 10,000 nautical miles with a little bit of refueling there in the air. Now, Mr. Hunselaar, what's a nautical mile? Do you know what it is?
When I first heard of a nautical mile, honestly, what I thought was, because the Earth is globe, and I know there will be some people who disagree with me, but you're wrong. Anyway, so I thought that, okay, for them to have moved 1 mile on the ground,
it would be different.
It would be the equivalent distance, because like if you look at a circle, if you're closer to the center, the circumference is smaller. It is not that, Mr. Delport. That is not what it is. So it has more to do with the definition of how we define longitude and latitude.
Oh, great.
So it does have to do with angles. So a nautical mile is the distance you would travel if you would go through 1 minute through a latitude degree, whatever.
Got you.
And it works out to about 1,852 meters.
Okay.
So it's about 1.15 of a statute mile, which is a mile on the ground.
Got you.
Like a land mile.
A normal mile is like 1,006.
And the reason why they use nautical miles is because you can. It's easy to use it to plan charters and stuff, because when you go across the globe, you need to plan according to the degrees. So that's kind of how you plan. So in a nutshell, that's what a nautical
mile is. A nautical mile is not a normal mile. Just know that. I'm sure it's the same with kilometers. You get nautical kilometers?
It's probably just a conversion.
Okay. Engines, Mr. Hunselaar. Thrust capabilities.
Ooh.
The B-2 bomber has 4 of these engines, each outputting 7.8 tons of thrust at maximum thrust. Now, for us South Africans, that might not be helpful. I see you saw my conversion. If we convert that into something that's more relatable to the average man, that would be the same as bench pressing, not 1, not 2, not even 3 Toyota Hiluxes, but 4 Toyota Hiluxes. Okay, and this, to be fair, this would be a Hilux that doesn't have passengers in, but fluids are included in that weight. So,
a full tank
of fluids. All right. So it has the same thrust as bench pressing, 4 Toyota Hiluxes, and it has 4 of those. So a lot of thrust is basically what we're saying. Some general specs on it. Its top speed is about 1,000 kilometers an hour. It can rise to a cruising altitude of about 15 kilometers. And for those out there, when you're cruising in your little plane down to Durban, Cape Town, wherever, international flights, you're usually between 8 and 10 kilometers cruising speed. So it's a bit higher than that. Weight, it weighs about 71 tons. 71 tons, and this thing flies. Is that not terrifying?
That's like 40 Toyota Hiluxes.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of Hiluxes. The wingspan, which is the entire wingspan of the plane, is 52.4 meters. And now, if we compare that to, I would say actually an above average banana. That's about 233 above average bananas, no matter what she says, laid end to end. So quite a lot of bananas, man. I mean, I would say that's a good enough length.
That's a lot of potassium. If you ate that amount of bananas on a marathon, you wouldn't get a cramp.
You don't think so? You
Maybe you would
die from eating so many bananas. Is there too much potassium that you can eat in one go?
Probably. I think anything in high enough dosages will kill you.
Could be. It can carry conventional as well as thermonuclear weapons based on the approvals it has. And here's the most wild thing, right? So the type of bombs it can take. Now, this is interesting. It can take a payload of 16 by B-83 nuclear bombs. So 16 thermonuclear warheads, which apparently is a pretty modern nuclear warhead. And each of those weighs about, I'm going to do this in pounds now, 2,400 pounds, which is just over 17 tons altogether, bomb payload. Now, How powerful is a B-83 bomb, Mr. Hunselaar? That's the question on your mind, right?
Yeah. Is that the one that buries itself underground?
No, that's not the bunker buster.
Ah.
But that thing's cool. It's a bit heavier than these, but I didn't actually get background on that. Probably should. The B-83 contains about 1.2 megatons equivalent TNT. So if you had to detonate 1.2 megatons of TNT, you'd get the same effect without the radiation, I would think. But that's about 80 times the power of the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. 80.
That's wild.
That's a big bomb. That's a big bomb.
That's scary that that the human race is capable of making such a powerful.
And that's
weapon.
one plane. And one bomb is more powerful than Hiroshima's bomb. And it carries 16.
And
they
you'll
have
never
20.
see it coming.
And they have 20 in the fleet. And you'll never see it coming. Right? So we're assuming the US will make good decisions with that. Okay, so again, we're here to talk about the engineering of this plane because it's really, really cool, actually. I must say, as a caveat to the audience, believe it or not, to find information on highly classified military equipment on the internet is rather difficult.
Who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk?
Would you have thunk, eh? They don't just publish the drawings of the B-2 bomber. So we're just working with what we have, is basically what I'm saying. But let's talk about stealth. The B-2 is made for stealth. That is how you know, as Iranian president, you are. That you don't know when the B-2 is coming. You don't know when it's coming. If it's here already, it might be here. We don't know. Okay? So the B-2 has its primary goal is to be stealthy and to carry bombs that can fuck you up. It's basically the idea. And the goals of being stealthy, there's 4 goals you want to accomplish as a plane. If you were going to be a stealthy plane, these are the 4 things you want to hit on. Okay? The one thing is, I shouldn't be able to see you in the sky. Makes sense. Okay? You don't want to be too noisy because then we'll hear you. Right? These all make sense. The other thing is you want to be hidden from sensors such as radar and infrared sensors. Makes sense. And you also want to mask your electromagnetic energy. That's probably the biggest words we're going to use in this section. But basically any electromagnetic energy you create on the plane, you don't want people to detect it. And if you achieve those 4 things, you'll be a pretty stealthy plane.
I saw a video of how they mask the thermal signature. So basically what they do is they bury the engine in the
that would be helpful
thing, so it contains the heat, and then as it's flying, it's sucking in a lot of air from the atmosphere, and then it uses that to dilute the exhaust.
Yeah.
So basically, at the end, it doesn't actually put out a lot of heat.
Yeah, compared to like other planes. I mean, if you've been on when last have you been on a plane?
It was like January.
Okay, yes, for Netherlands.
Yeah.
So anyway, on a conventional plane, obviously the jet engines are exposed. So if you had to look at that with one of those thermal imaging cameras, you'd see a lot of heat coming out of those exhausts. And this is what the B-2 is trying to avoid. If you look at it and you're looking for heat signatures, won't find it. The added benefit of that, now that you bring it up, is that thermal tracking missiles can't track it now because it's masked so well. And apparently a lot of work went into the exhaust. We're going to take that as at face value. I'm sure it was very difficult to try and get rid of those heat signatures. It's also why the exhausts are located on the top of the plane and not the bottom. Okay? So visually, we obviously want to mask the B-2 at night.
So that I was going to take this out.
Please. Okay, one of the other things you want to do is you want to visually mask it. So the B-2, if you've ever seen pictures of it, it's black, which is helpful in the night sky. You'll see it in the daylight. But another thing apparently that they added is because of the shape of the plane, even if you see it during the daylight, because it's weirdly shaped, you don't actually know which direction it's going in. That's reports. I feel like you just watch where it's going.
I think the fact that if you can see it, you already know, okay, there's cuck coming.
Yeah, there's cuck coming.
Yeah.
But it's probably for intimidation factor that they do that. But anyway, it also has minimal exhausts, which we talked about. And also, it mimics some things we see in nature, Mr. Hunselaar.
Yeah, so
chat about it.
There's a phenomenon in nature called counter shading. I think that's what they call it. So basically, I'm sure you, the viewers, would have noticed that there are some animals where the underside of the animal is very light colored and then the top is dark. A good example is a penguin. Perfect. So as a penguin is swimming through the water, say you're now a shark and you in the mood for
some penguin meat.
Penguin a la king, you know?
Yeah, 100.
And now you're swimming from the deep, and now you're like, okay, I'm going to come from below. They'll never see it coming. You look up, and you just see the sky. So you just see, so now what penguins do is they have white bellies. So when the shark looks up, it's like, that must just be sky. But now, say you're a little bit more clued up and you're like, okay, I'm going to go above the penguins. They'll never see me coming.
Yeah.
Now the penguin is dark. So it matches like the dark underbelly of the sea.
So no matter which way, you won't see them.
And then another advantage now, if you look at it from the side, it kind of takes away the perspective of it. So it makes it look like a blend into the background a lot more.
Yeah.
So
you won't be able to tell the head from the tail.
I don't know how much they've incorporated this into the stealthy.
I'm sure they did.
But I'm sure they thought about it because it looks like a bird, and a lot of birds do this.
You see. So it makes a lot of sense. So visually, feel like the B2 is winning here. Okay. Noise-wise, you did speak a bit about this, but the way the exhausts are designed, the way the air inlets are designed, basically to remove turbulence and get rid of some of that noise. Also, having the engines buried deep in the plane helps a bit, and they probably have soundproofing in there. Can neither confirm nor deny that, but pretty sure. Then when it comes to sensors and stuff, a lot of work has been done on this, and a lot of it, believe it or not, are military secrets. So I'm just telling you more or less what we think is happening on the outside of the plane. So apparently they've put on radar absorbing materials, otherwise known from here on out as RAM, all over the plane. The only problem apparently with RAM materials is that they degrade very quickly. Often they crack, and then when they crack, they don't do as good a job as when they were new. So apparently you have to paint the B2 quite a lot in order to keep up that stealthiness, which I guess is a small price to pay when you're the US military.
Yeah, I mean...
And there's only 20 of them to maintain. I think they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we already spoke a bit about the exhaust, but obviously if there's not a lot of heat, because remember it's comparative, so if they can see a heat stream in the sky, they can track you, but they've done a lot of work on that, so minimized. And then in terms of electromagnetic radiation, obviously the pilots are there. Apparently they have like little toaster ovens and stuff in there. Because, I mean, they're doing long missions. The guys have to eat, they have to sleep, they have to entertain themselves. So there's all of that stuff. There's obviously when they're transmitting frequencies to communicate back to Houston, back. The B2 apparently has very advanced communication technologies which make those radio streams very concentrated. So that it's hard to intercept. I wouldn't say impossible, but difficult. And that, Mr. Hunselaar, is how you build a stealthy plane at a very simple level.
I saw also another thing where, so common planes, like if you fly somewhere, the way the fins are, or the rudders, is it called rudders?
Yep.
So like on the outer wings, if you want to lean...
The stabilizers.
Yeah. It has on the one side it goes up, the other side it goes down, and then that allows it to go there. And on the back you have on the tail, the rudders that make it go up and down, and then it has the rudder to go left and right.
Yeah.
But the B2 bomber, because it's a flat plane, it doesn't have a rudder. So basically it controls it with like a few different things. You must see.
A few surfaces.
One of the consequences is that if it wants to turn, it needs a really wide angle,
Yeah. So we move on to, so this is the second part that we want to talk about, which is the structural challenges of this whole building of the plane. Because like you say, the whole plane is literally a wing. Like there's nothing, if you look at pictures of it, there's the landing gear when it's on the ground, but other than that, when it's in the air, it's literally just a wing. So I watched a few interviews with the pilots and stuff, and apparently it's not a very hard plane to fly, believe it or not, because pretty much all of the flying is done by the computers. Apparently if you had to leave it just to humans, it would be far too complex to fly. So that's the reason the computers mostly fly it. But it's apparently aerodynamically unstable. So that's why you need quick feedback from the computers to change. Apparently there's a few surfaces on the plane. I couldn't find which surfaces. I couldn't find how the surfaces change.
Probably is classified information.
Probably classified. But apparently there's many surfaces that change the aerodynamics of the plane to keep it stable, to turn, all of those fancy things, right? Apparently they have quadruple redundancy on the plane. Obviously, you don't want this thing failing. So it has one computer, and then it has a backup computer. Then it has a backup computer to the backup computer. And then a backup to the backup to the backup computer, so that you can never be stranded, basically.
Very good idea.
Probably a good idea, right? And I mean, where budget isn't a problem, why not?
Yeah.
And then the final thing is apparently heat expansion. So with all the materials that are on it, all the carbon fiber that's going on, it can cause the coatings to peel and crack, which obviously ruins your stealth. It ruins aerodynamics. So again, having to fix that stuff constantly. It does sound like a bitch to upkeep. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. It probably sits in like a warehouse under the sun, under like a cover.
Apparently they run a lot of missions with them. So But apparently, a lot of it is intimidation. So they'll often fly into like different airspaces just to show this is the most American thing ever.
It's like, we can.
Literally, they just fly past, just be like, oh yeah, just to let you know, that thing could be carrying nuclear bombs, and it's about 5,000 miles away from home. Just so you know.
Yeah.
You know, pretty intimidating.
Just send a screenshot of like.
Put it on Trump's social. Yeah. Why not?
That's wild, man.
The final thing we get into in the engineering, obviously there's humans on the plane. You've got to manufacture so that humans can survive on the plane, which is a lot in itself, especially when you're trying to be stealthy about it. So like I told you guys, the actual missions themselves can be very long. The mission Operation Midnight Hammer, was a 37-hour continuous mission. So they took off in Missouri. They flew for 37 hours before landing again. So it does take quite a toll on the pilots. Often they'll run because they can't always fly the B-2, because I feel like there is a budget. It's probably a very flexible budget, but they can't always be flying. So a lot of the times they'll do it in simulators. They'll be sitting in there for like 24, 30 hours just simulating what it's like to fly the B-2 plane.
But it must be such a feeling, man.
You think so? The plane flies itself, dude. Like literally, when you look at the interviews of the pilots, they literally, when they're flying, one's resting, and then they'll alternate. They're only needed for takeoff, landing and dropping bombs is when they need two of them. So, I don't know. It must be really cool. Not gonna.
I think it's cool to just be there, maybe.
Yeah, obviously. But dude, for 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it gets old, eh?
Yeah, no, 100%. So, a lot of that, like I said, they have to mask the electromagnetic radiation. So, anything that the pilots are doing, they need to make sure that that's masked. The cabin is pressurized to keep them nice and alive. Would be helpful. And it's also got special radiation shielding because you're obviously flying quite far into the atmosphere, so you could get toasted. And that, Mr. Hunselaar, is the B-2 bomber. My question to you at the end of all of this, if you were given the opportunity to become a B-2 pilot, now not to fly it once, to become a dedicated pilot, are you going for that?
I don't think so, man.
Not for you.
I think the appeal, at first it would be really cool.
Yeah, like really cool.
But I think, like you said, it flies itself, so it gets old.
Yeah.
Also, man, I don't like the idea of bombing people, so...
Oh, is that for you?
Maybe there's a moral question here.
I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking, I can't even sit in a car for like a few hours. Now, can you imagine 24, 30 hours in a cramped cabin? No ways.
With some asshole that, like, maybe you like, maybe you don't.
Maybe you like him, maybe you
But
don't.
I'm pretty sure crammed in a... I mean, I like you, Jonathan, but if you and I were crammed into a small space for 40 plus hours, I don't think I would like you coming out. And I don't think you would... I think you have the same sentiment.
We would be colleagues, but that's it. Not brothers.
Yeah.
Not brothers in this case. All right, guys, so we're coming to the end here. I just want to say, if you guys want to reach out to us, it's highlevelpodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow us on all our social media. So we come to the end of this. The $2.1 billion engineering marvel. It isn't a feat of engineering in itself. It's literally a flying wing. That's all it is. It's a wing that flies.
And it's a stealthy boy.
And it's stealthy as balls. So I think great engineering marvel. Would I want to be a part of it? Probably not. Maybe in the engineering part, design, but not a pilot. Definitely not. Your side, same sort of vibe you're feeling.
Yeah.
100%. All right, guys, that's the B-2 Spirit Bomber. We're going to hit off with recommendations. Mr. Hunselaar, do you have a recommendation?
I do. So I've recently delved into... I watched the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy animated series. So,
which one's the one that came out now? The third one?
So that's the live action one that came out.
Live
So they're doing a
action?
reboot
Okay,
and it's
okay,
live
okay,
action.
got you.
Okay, so I just watched the 3 movies. I knew there was like a series, but I thought it was like a
series?
series. The rabbit hole goes deeper than
Really?
you think it does.
A series?
Yeah, so there's the first movie which starts the story.
Got you.
Okay, so there's a
I love the first
time gap between the first movie and the second movie of like 5 years.
Okay.
In between that, there's a whole 6-season series that
6
goes.
seasons? You joking?
And there's some short clips, and there's like a Christmas special.
Oh my gosh.
As well.
How did it evolve so quickly?
And
I
apparently,
didn't even know about it.
Yeah, even me, I was like, because I just saw the 3, and then I was like, okay, cool, man.
Okay.
And then like, I think the internet heard me, and then I saw a reel, and like, they explained they were like, the rabbit hole goes deep.
Okay.
And apparently, like, there's a lot of references to the series and everything that get brought up in the series that it goes over your head.
Ah, okay, got you.
If you watch the movie.
Okay.
So
have you watched the live action one yet?
No, I haven't.
Would you?
I'll watch it. I enjoyed
But you're gonna wait for it to come.
come out and. Well,
You're
I
not
mean,
gonna
it's
go to the movies.
it's on the.
When else have you been to the movies, man?
Oh, it's been a while.
You don't think it's
It's
worth
been a
it?
while, man.
Live action.
I don't know. Man.
Toothless in live action, man. No, not a vibe.
Maybe I don't know. But I don't
See
know.
how
If
the
you-
fun's
with
going.
certain banking people, you get a good discount.
Got you. Okay, fair enough. For me, recently watched War Dogs.
Mm.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've
Quite a
seen
while
it
ago.
floating around in my suggestions, but I
Got
haven't
you.
watched it.
Never watched it ever.
So I don't
It
think
was
so.
it was pretty good. I
good?
liked it. Jonah Hill. I think it's Miles Teller. Am I saying that right? Do you know him? Miles Teller. It sounds
Nah,
familiar, right?
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I
Um,
can't say I know.
Really, really good. Basic storyline is these two guys get into running arms for the US military. They do a bit of shady stuff, sell some Chinese artillery, and then there's a whole court case. Well, the court case only happens at the end, but really good. Jonah Hill, underrated, man. I love
Underrated
Jonah Hill.
because he started his career in like slapstick.
You see.
which I think
And then
already
to
puts you at like
transfer it
a
over. Yeah.
like people look down on you, and then like when he started taking on more serious roles,
No one took him seriously.
yeah,
type
but
of thing.
he's got depth.
No, dude, it was
He's
solid.
got depth.
I really enjoyed it. I think it's like one of those you watch once. I don't have to watch it again. I would if it's like on, but like you watch it once and it was a good movie. So really, really enjoyed it. And that's my recommendations for the week.
Lekker, man.
Anything inspiring you want to share with the audience?
Sure, man. You
I
always put me on the spot.
man. You got to come prepared.
Something
next time.
inspiring. Yeah. Sure. No one will fund two engineers with an idea.
What will they fund?
A solid plan that looks
With
like it's been
traction.
fleshed out with traction.
There we go. All right, guys. We hope you have an excellent week, and we will catch you in the next one.